Yes, we got another update from Gun that included a lot of things such as Nancy buffs, rush week changes, new characters, and maps. So I started thinking, could this be a turning point for TCM? We know that the game was starting to become stagnant because I don't think Rush Week helped as much as they thought it would, because the odds of playing Johnny was so low. Every match you queued up for in Rush Week, you ended up being a sorority girl 90% of the time. So that's a dead end. It really seems like TCM was headed for the horror game graveyard until now. I believe the current update was a statement for TCM trying to say we are just getting started. Why do I say that? Stick around and find out. So Gun has finally given us something new to try to reshape how the game is played. Yes, we got the new graveyard map, which is fine. That's nothing new because a map grows old after a few runs, but what's interesting about the graveyard map is that it offers a new escape option that no one seen coming when it was announced. So this to me was a hint that Gun is starting to take the gloves off a little bit and add a little more options in the game, because since the character levels are capped at 99, Gun must do something different to keep the players interested. And who knows, more escape options could be added down the line if the graveyard map perform well. If they were able to add different escape options in Rush Week, like the telephone to the police, then why not add escape options to the core game mode? It's exciting to see what other escape options could be added to upcoming maps. Another indication that Gun is reaching for a new level of gameplay with their game is obviously the addition of Wyatt and Bones. We noticed that the game was going away from the Maria storyline when Maria turned out to be alive. So now it really seems that the Maria storyline is in the rearview mirror, and new characters being added will have different reasons for being in the game. Now I know you're thinking new characters have been added to the game that had nothing to do with Maria. Well, these characters that's being added now is coming with some new mechanics that we haven't seen before. We have not had victims that can throw objects at the family. The only option was stabbing them in the back and fighting them off with bone shards. Well, Wyatt has his ability of throwing knives. If Wyatt can throw knives, that could mean more victim gameplay mechanics could be in the work for this game as well, even if it's for new victims. Before getting further into this video though, remember to hit one of those engagement buttons for me. I appreciate the feedback. I want to highlight one more thing about this game that could indicate that Gun is trying to keep the enjoyment of what the game offered for the victims while making it a little more challenging for them to escape. They added a family member that can go down wells and use bombs that blow up if triggered by victims, or the bombs can blow up barricades if placed well. Bones is the new family member that can do these things with the correct perk equip. Of course, some victim mains will not like this because wells is how victims can escape imminent danger. But if a family member can follow you down the well, then that make a big difference and could result in a different strategy that the victims must use. Gun needed a way to make the family a little bit stronger, and I think this is their way of leveling that playing field as much as they can right now. The December 12th patch notes definitely buffed Nancy regarding the barbed wire placement by speeding up the time to place the traps from 5 seconds to 3.5 seconds. Family members don't have to worry about tripping over them, and Nancy do not have to rush to reset those traps that's accidentally triggered by the family members. Again, this is a turning point for Gun, realizing that some things don't make sense. I believe next, they will tackle the lobby wait times in the core game mode, because in this December patch, Rush Week got an update on how the lobbies work. Now the lobbies in Rush Week, if a player left the lobby, it won't take as long to backfill. Hopefully this little update will translate to the core game mode at some point. Like I said, I think Gun finally putting in some more work into TCM and polishing up the game a little bit. And I am interested in seeing if what they done with adding new characters with the new mechanics and a new escape, will that bring more attention to the game. Remember to hit the subscribe button to keep up with TCM, and welcome to Mr. Unleashed World.